Welcome, everyone, to the Essential Therapies podcast with Dr. Cindy. This week, we just have a quick message from Dr. Cindy herself about where she's going this week. So here she is.
Dr. Cindy Hodgson here, exercise physiologist, physical therapist, owner of Essential Therapies in Toledo, Ohio, and just checking in today with you on our second podcast. This is also 4 weeks after my accident, which we talked about in our first podcast. And that's noteworthy today because I am getting ready to fly out to visit the John Barnes Myofascial Release Treatment Center, also known as the Sanctuary, in Malvern, Pennsylvania. And the reason why I'm going is to get some intensive treatment, intensive myofascial release work on my own body. So I have been really putting out there some information about how I've been treating myself, how I was able to treat myself immediately after the accident and had incredible healing. But things have kind of slowed down for me doing this on my own, and I really need some focused time to kind of get away from my own day-to-day routine where there's lots going on and also be able to be cared for by other skilled therapists in an environment where I don't have to kind of do my regular daily routine. So I am going to be sharing with you in multiple different ways how and what this is doing for me. And so just to give you a quick note as to what happens in an intensive. An intensive can be either, and actually I'm calling this a mini intensive. I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, getting about 10 or 11 hours of treatment in those few days. And typically people will come in for an hour and a half session, and maybe they don't come back for a couple weeks, or if they're really working on things a week or maybe a month, or, just it varies depending on what's going on. But when you have a trauma or you have someone who has a lot of restriction in their body and there's a subconscious holding pattern keeping back the ability to release and let go, what we're doing with this mini intensive or an intensive where maybe you're being seen 5 days in a row or 2 whole weeks for 15 hours each week is we're overwhelming that subconscious holding pattern. And that way we're able to soften through that and change the system. So lots to talk about when I come back. But for now, that's where I'm headed, to Malvern, Pennsylvania, the Sanctuary, the John Barnes Myofascial Treatment Center, to get some intensive treatment on myself. And I'm excited because I am not new to doing myofascial intensives. My first clinic here in Toledo over 20 years ago, I did lots of intensives every week. We saw people for 20 hours a week. Oftentimes they would come from all over the country, and we saw some amazing healing. And we're also offering mini intensives and intensives here at Essential Therapies, and we will be talking about that more as well. So if you're ready to break through some old patterns, this might be something for you to follow and see how it works or to inquire more about. So thanks so much for following us, and I look forward to checking up with you on the other side of my intensive. Have a great day.
So there you have it, details on her trip this week. And we're also going to have some details in this episode's description with a YouTube link to an interview that she had actually done with John Barnes. So be sure to check that out, and we will see you again next week. Thanks for listening.